Hello and welcome to another episode of A Ghost in the Magazine. I'm Stef.
And I'm Elle.
And this week's movie is Renfield.
Sure
Surprise,
is.
shorties. We saw it in theater.
Yeah, I haven't been to a theater since Star Wars Rogue One. That was the last movie I saw in the theater, and I have let my neurodivergence run wild a little bit in that time since then, and I had a hard time in the theater because it was like way loud, and I was getting I was
Oh,
sitting there like
yeah.
wishing I had earplugs like I do when I go to concerts.
I did go see Rogue One in theater and it was a really great experience, but I have been to the theater a lot of times since then. I love going to the movies and I especially love going to the movies by myself. And when the theater is empty, it's a really good time. If you have never done it, you should try it. But sometimes the movies are really fucking loud for no reason. And when I saw Evil Dead Rise, the sound volume was frightening. I'm just gonna let you know ahead of time.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring some earplugs with me next time. I am to enjoy going by myself when the theater is empty. Unfortunately, I happened to have like two or I think maybe four people maximum in this room with me, and I happened to get the seat behind the two of the few people that were in there, and you can't change seats because you have to buy your seats in advance at my theater, which is
Yeah, but
stupid
like,
and I hate it.
okay, so most of the theaters that I go to as well, but once everyone's like in, can't you just like switch to an
I don't
empty
know,
seat?
maybe.
Was
I
the
just
theater police gonna get? I think you can. Don't worry about the theater police. They don't take their jobs that fucking seriously. They're not gonna ask to check your ticket, I promise.
I don't know, dude. I
So,
went to Spice World when I was like 11 years old or something, and somebody opened the door in the theater, and then they came through and like policed all of us and stuff, and I was very scared because I was a child and I was there by myself with my friends, and like I didn't have parents, and so I'm just like naturally very scared of the theater police because of that. My traumatizing experience at Spice World.
I'm so sorry that happened to you, but I promise things have changed now in 2023. They barely look at your fucking ticket when you go in. They're like, let me just scan that hoe. You've got eyes. Find your seat and
Yeah.
behave yourself. Yeah. I don't know what they check for when they come in with their little flashlights throughout the movie, but it's
Mhm.
like the door in the front. I guess the emergency exit. I didn't tell you, but I didn't like this movie very much.
Mm.
I thought it was okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay.
I think I gave it like a
Did you
3
like
out
it?
of 5 on Letterboxd. It was just I don't know. It was amusing. I loved
Yes.
Cage as Dracula. Um I liked the idea of it. I also felt like Renfield getting his power from eating bugs made
Hilarious.
my dude in Dracula 2000 sitting there eating freaking leeches off of Dracula's body only to be a glass-boned old man for 100 years. Like that's a raw deal. At first I thought they were special like enchanted bugs, but then nope, they're just bugs.
Me too. He's like, get I just need a fucking bug. And he eats that little boy's like he drinks the ant farm that he helped put bugs into, by the way. And then I love that the mom was like, you're a bad man, Renfield.
And it's like he doesn't just
Humorous.
get to be long lived. He's like he can do like he can hold his own with Jackie Chan. Let's be honest. Like this man has some power behind his
Yeah.
kicks and shit. So
He eats bugs. Only when he eats the bugs and his eyes are glowing and shit. And then, he can whoop ass. But
mhm.
I was wondering, are these magic bugs? He keeps a little box, a little emergency box of bugs. Like, like Tic Tacs. I almost said TikToks. My brain. Did you see the moment where my brain turned off? Oh my God.
That's happening
Um,
to me a lot today. It's all right. Great to see
I
a
can I
cop
tell you
doused in coke and not dying, like when they look at fentanyl.
what are the rules? I had a good time in the beginning of this movie, like showing Dracula being ridiculous and like his history with Renfield. I love the spooky circle that they tried to trap Dracula in.
Hmm.
I really liked the practical effects in this movie. It was surprisingly gory. I was not expecting it to be so gory at all. Um, I love explosions of blood. So I really loved
Hmm.
when Dracula went inside the priest's mouth and exploded him from the inside.
Hmm.
That was neat. That was gnarly. I don't know though. Like some stuff just really fucking took me out. I love what the concept of Renfield having to go to a support group because he has a
Hmm.
shitty fucking boss. I think that's so funny. And the way that like the leader of the support group was like cheering him on, like, yes, that's a weird way to put things, but like we support you, not knowing that he literally means like, no, my boss is ancient evil.
Yeah.
He wants to eat for breakfast.
Like
I don't know.
I think there were a lot of really good elements to this, and then there was just like not a very satisfying story, I think, and not a very satisfying. It was like all hinged on this like brave cop that was like standing up to corruption, and it's like
Okay,
that's a fairy
but can we
tale.
talk
That's more
about
of a fairy tale than Dracula.
it really is. And first of all, it's Aquafina's performance did not hit anything for me. She
Mm.
it felt very like monotone. Like even the parts that were supposed to be funny, lines being delivered from her, I just I'm just like it could be anybody. It could be anybody. Like you're not giving anything special here at all.
Mm.
Like at all. It kind of seemed like she didn't really want to be there. Like but who knows? I think it's very weird that like her and her sister are in law enforcement, but her sister's in the FBI and she's like a traffic cop and she's the one who wants to like avenge their father's death. But like it was weird. Like it's
Hmm.
weird. It was giving like goofy John Wick, honestly. The whole and the criminals and the criminal overlord mom. It was
The
it was a weird way to go.
the mom was like a great value Lucille Bluth. So
Yeah.
like I kind of like the goofy gang leader guy, like the crime guy, because he was just so stupid, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's kind of funny when you have like a comic
It's fun.
bad villain that is just like a nepo baby, so he just gets to keep
Yeah.
failing upwards. That's fun. But like I don't know, I was just like not engaged in it very much. I think in the at least the emotional side that they were trying to put out with the story, I think.
Yeah, I don't feel like that was very good. And also, I just lied to you about Aquafina's lines. There was one.
Mm.
There was one. Got me right here. When Renfield shows up with his sweater and flowers at the office, and this guy says, "Rebecca, is that your boyfriend?" And she goes, "Shut the fuck up, Kyle." That was it.
Yeah,
That
the
was
Kyle
literally
gag was kind of funny because it's just a very like white boy
dude bro
name.
name.
The time that made me laugh was when they go to get those like ska guys and that or Renfield goes to get the ska guys and then he brings them back to Dracula and he's like, "What are you feeding me?" And then Renfield goes, "That's
Yes.
Doug. Doug is trash. You're feeding me trash." And I there's reasons why I think that's hilarious, but it's also good, you know. Doug is
Can
trash. I
confirm.
can say can confirm
Can
Doug is trash.
confirm.
Yeah. So
Can confirm. There was also a weird fascination with Scott in this movie. Like what the fuck was that all about? Like the spray painted words on the side of the building, and they're like, "Oh, I think that's lyrics to a ska song." How would you know? It's not like there's an abundance of cops who listen to ska. It's not. I
Yeah,
just
there
know.
were several references to like Scott not being dead throughout.
And I don't think that you watch Adventure Time, but
A little bit.
Nick Cage. Oh, okay. Well, do you know Marceline's dad, Hunson Aberdeen? Is that what it is?
I
That's
kind
who
of
he
remember.
looks like. Yeah, that's exactly what he looks like. He looks like Hunson Aberdeen.
It's like a uh, it's such like the
Daddy,
makeup
why
was
don't
really
you
good.
talk?
Also with the gore,
Yeah,
I would say like the end when they got Dracula in the circle and they're like, "Oh, we can just torment him." It reminded me of
yeah,
Office Space a little bit when they're beating that printer up. That's what I was
yeah.
thinking of.
Oh my God. Yeah,
I was like, "We've
yeah.
got
That's
the
valid.
Office
That's
Space
valid.
ending."
Okay, okay. And speaking of the gore, this guy, when he's fighting the super bug power, right? And he's fighting all those bitches off. The fact that he rips this guy's arms off, then slaps another guy around with the arms, and then shoves them through these other guys' bodies. That was phenomenal.
Mhm.
I liked that.
That
Um,
that was funny. That reminded me of like Monty Python or something like that, just like obscene humor. So
yeah. Yeah. I liked the montage where like Renfield's like, you know what? I don't have to put up with this shit. He gets his colorful sweaters, he gets an apartment. I love the color palette. It's all like spring colors, okay? And then when Dracula finds out and he explodes in like a pissy cloud of bats, like he's just like throwing this temper tantrum.
hmm.
Hilarious. But it's like there are these moments in the movie that I'm like, love that. Oh, that's funny. But it wasn't like a cohesive, enjoyable ride for me. I got a little bored. Oh, during that montage where he's getting his life together, that they slap a Lizzo song over it. Hilarious. It's so funny. Like, good for you, Renfields. I love that.
Hmm.
Hot Boy Spring. But I don't know. I don't know. It just didn't tick a lot of boxes for me. And this guy has the audacity when he goes to fight. I forget Aquafina's character's name, so we're just calling her by her government name. When he goes to bite her, he goes at her neck tongue first, like a weirdo.
Yeah.
No thanks.
I I love the way like I feel like Cage kind of like tried to create a little bit of a Dracula, like a classical Dracula accent, but he kept slipping into Nick Cage accent, which I thought was hilarious. I was very entertained by that. I loved it. Um, there was just, I don't know, there were like pieces of this movie that I wanted to love it so hard because like
Because
I love the idea of
we
Nick
love him.
Dracula too, and I want to like
Good.
it. It's just I have to admit that the story kind of fell flat, especially in retrospect as I think about it. Like I was pretty amused coming out of the theater because
Hmm.
it was the first time I've been to the theater in a long time. I had a decent time. Um,
Yeah.
Only had to pee twice. That was nice. I
Woo!
think these movies are entirely too long, especially if you're in VIP and you're like drinking anything, right? So, same.
Yeah. So I just opted out of drinking anything during this movie.
Hmm.
I just
I don't know. I thought it was interesting that it took place in New Orleans.
I think that's interesting also. So it makes me wonder like just how many fucking vampires are there in New Orleans?
Right? Because
Let's
God, we
go.
just did another movie. Oh, Dracula 2000 took place in New Orleans as well. And then of course the OG Anne Rice, you know.
She loves New Orleans. Okay. She loves that shit. Maybe that's just like
Steph,
maybe she's just paid.
sorry, I talked over you, but I was gonna ask
Am
you.
I in trouble?
No, I was gonna ask you a question. I wrote a note, but it was really funny when you looked up and you were like surprised. It's
Surprise,
because
Shorty.
it was quiet when I said it, but I think there was a delay. But I was gonna say,
Yeah, it scared me.
huh?
It scared me.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, what did I write shit-based finisher about? I feel like there was something to do with poop. If it's a finisher, it's like the end of a fight.
Someone shit their pants?
That's what they must have. Because why would I write that? I wrote this in the theater on my like notes app, so I don't remember though. So it
Yeah,
must
that's
not have
how I
been
did
very
it.
good.
I mean, it must not. No, I'm like,
It's between
I feel like it's,
Dracula appropriately horny for old ladies and then a bunch of burning shit
yeah,
bats. Those are my two notes around it.
someone must have shit their pants.
They must have. Was it Dracula?
I hope so.
It's like
Ew.
if it's shit's like bird poop because it's blood, you know? Because like he's only
Yeah.
drinking liquid, so wouldn't it be like a liquid?
Oh, that's awful.
Now I need to know
Does
what Dracula shit looks like.
does Lestat ever?
I want to know. Okay, I'm not gonna say.
Well, now I need to know.
It was a cum question, okay? It was a cum question, all right? I just wanted to know if he cum blood.
Dude, I need to remember that I have neighbors now. I can't be screech laughing like that when we're recording, okay?
You can't be
I can't.
screeching. Does Lestat cum blood? That's gonna be on a t-shirt.
Full exorcist spin right there, all the way around in my chair. I can't contain myself.
Oh my god. I want
Inquiring
to know
minds
about
need to
the
know.
poop thing. Now this is like my
Not enough to watch the movie again. I would watch this movie again. I love Nicholas Holt and I love Nick Cage.
hmm
And this isn't like a shitty Cage movie. So I would watch it again. It's just like not a favorite. I did love I love the fight scenes with him in it. Like there was one where he fucked this guy up with a fork. But that is specifically because it reminded me of American Ultra when he got activated and he fucked those guys up with a spoon. I just like that stuff. I do. I'm like a little teenage boy. I love it.
I don't know. I will watch this when it comes out on video probably again, especially because now the shit mystery is going to stick with me because I can't, like, I'm not getting anything on Google.
She's
So
hunting.
I need to
No, because it
know.
was probably like a little blip. Who shit
Yeah.
their pants
I want to know who
in
shit
Renfield?
themselves.
So
So,
fun story. My boss loves Nick Cage also. And we're both powerhouse Virgos. Like our birthdays are a day apart. Okay. However, she's not into horror, right?
mm,
And I was telling her I was gonna go see this movie, and she was like, "Oh, okay, let me know how it is." The first thing I was like, "Monique, there's so much blood, there's so much gore," and I told her about the arm slapping scene, and she goes, "Okay, so that's not for me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I just wasn't expecting that. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be just like, I mean, it's goofy, but I just thought it was,
hmm
I don't know. I
And I
just
think
wasn't
that
expecting it.
the gore is not like super realistic though. Like it's so
It's
over the
not.
top. I wouldn't if I don't
No.
know. I don't think that I would skip this for the gore. Like if I was scared of of that, but like any more than, again, the original Evil Dead. Like lots of gore, hilarious, absolutely fucking hilarious amounts of gore, but it's not scary, it's funny. So
Yeah, that's a theme that sticks with Evil Dead, and that's literally what I was gonna say because I saw Evil Dead Rise with all the blood, and then I saw this, and I was like, wow, like literally looks like watered down ketchup, but it's like fountains of the shit.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yep, I'm gonna be doing that here either tonight or tomorrow, so bring in earplugs this time though, just in case. One thing I'll say about the OG Evil Dead is like the sound design in it like was very unnerving. For as much as it
Yeah.
was a goofy ass movie, like the sounds that the possessed made were really creepy, and like there were these big like swaths of silence, which I thought was very weird. Like nothing playing, not even music or anything in the background, and it was like right up against like these really. As somebody who's very affected by noise, that part was genuinely unnerving. The same way like the Day the Earth Stood Still was to me, like the original 1950s one of that, like the noise that the robot made me like terrified as a
Did it
child.
make you
Like
shit
I
your pants?
was pretty much like I couldn't watch the movie when I was a kid because the noise scared me too much. So
I want you to hold on to that and then compare it when you watch Evil Dead Rise, and then talk with me about it on Monday. I just want to
I'm
know how you
probably
feel
not
about
going
it.
to have a good time, I'm guessing.
I don't know.
Should I drink? No, I can't because I'm driving myself, but I was going to say I can drink in the theater, but
I regret not being more high when I watched this movie, but I had a great time during
maybe
Evil
get
Dead
someone
Rise. Sorry,
to,
not during Renfield. So
yeah,
for you,
I don't know. Renfield was okay. It was
yes, it was okay, very solidly
it was
okay,
it
and I
was
would watch
okay.
it again.
hmm it wasn't like Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong where I was like, I resent the fact that I spent this time of my life watching this, or like Bad Moon, same. I resent it. But this, it was okay. It I resent The Fly
Yeah,
too as well. I want to put that out there. That was a fucking shitty movie.
I haven't seen it. I just take your word for it. There's just not much to say. I love that he keeps dropping his accent because Nick Cage is like an alien. He's not a regular dude. That's why there's a cult for him.
Method actor, isn't he?
Oh, dun, dun, dun. He is
We
indeed.
yep.
I think he lives his life as a character. I don't think there is. The real Nick Cage went to sleep a long time ago and just didn't wake back up.
But he doesn't fuck frogs like Adrian Brody, so
We don't know what he fucks, TBH. That's his business. Well, okay, never mind. No,
I
no,
wonder.
no. I
You
don't
don't
want to
want
go
me to
there.
ask the question?
No, no, no.
Give the lip reader something to talk about, as they said in Shadow of the Vampire.
I can't do this. Next horror movie that Nick Cage makes, we'll watch it. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch that shit. This didn't deter that at all. The Nick
If
Cage train,
we're talking about Nick Cage movies, though,
yeah,
this isn't as bad as fucking Between Worlds.
that shit belongs in the dumpster and then to be set on fire. That shouldn't have been made. That shouldn't have been made. That
I
you
still
shouldn't have
love
done
the
that.
like greasy leather pants getting hosed off on his bike scene.
And you know what? That makes me think of Friends, where Ross wears the leather pants and he goes to the bathroom on a date and then he can't get the fucking pants back up.
I bet
And
Nick Cage
he's
could get the
trying like
pants
baby
back
powder
up.
and stuff.
But the question is, did he
Sickening.
cum blood in preparation for
Probably. That's why he's smiling like that in this picture. He said, I am a great method actor. I can't get over him in Vampire's Kiss though, because that man, whoa, that was a lot.
Hmm.
That was a lot. That was a
I'm
lot.
such a fan of
Um,
that movie. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love Vampire's Kiss. I think it's insane. Like again, it's like a horror movie.
it's
It's funny
wild.
and it's making you think about things because there's a lot of symbolism in it. So I think that it's just like Shadow of the Vampire in that way, that it has all three things that I really enjoy. So it has to be a little
Yeah.
funny, I think, or else I'm not going to get into it.
I love humor in horror movies.
Hmm.
But sometimes I find shit funny that I don't think is intended to be funny.
Same.
Um, but as long as I have a good time, that's what matters. I got my ticket money's worth
Yeah,
or whatever. I got my time. I spent time watching this. I got my money's worth. I like to giggle a little in the middle of horrific horror
me too.
because I can't take life too seriously. Otherwise,
Oh,
I'm gonna have a bad time.
yeah. I don't take anything
I'm not
seriously. I
into
don't
that.
take myself seriously. Why the hell would I take a movie seriously?
Most definitely not. One thing about me, I'm gonna have a good time.
Same. I think that's just like that's our vibe. That's the vibe of the podcast. We're gonna have a good time.
We're
Just
gonna
like
have a good time. I don't have anything else to say on this movie. I'm so sorry. I'm
me
so
neither.
sorry. Well, you can find this podcast on the internet at ghostinthemagazine.site. You can find it on Twitter at GITM Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at WitchXPudding.
And you can find me at Nocturnical.
Okay, farewell.